Thank you, Jay. All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to our personnel consent agenda. We have last month's Board of Education minutes, and I need a motion unless there's questions about the minutes. Do we have any questions?
Nope.
Hearing none, I need a motion to approve last month's board minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to 3.2, I'd like to ask for a motion for, we had an audit committee meeting on the 11th, and this is the minutes from the audit committee. So I need a motion unless there are questions. Are there any questions from the board?
Nope.
Okay. So do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving now to our personnel consent agenda. Are there any questions in regards to our personnel consent agenda?
No.
Okay, hearing none. I need a motion to approve the personnel consent agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Jason. Second?
Second.
Thanks, Stacy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So approved. Moving on to our non-personnel consent agenda. On this one, I'll have to ask clarification for this. We have several different ones here. I just want to clarify with you, Dr. Green and Marcy, is the one that's related to our interpreter services, can we include that in this section as one approval, or do we need to do those in the calendar separate?
They generally go as one.
Say that again?
They generally go as one. They
As
just
one?
Go in the consent agenda, yes.
Okay, so we have several items here. And I'd like to give the board an opportunity if they have any questions about the interpreter section or the calendar meeting list that we have for next year's school board meetings. Does anybody have any questions in regards to them or any comments on the board here? We've had a chance to look this material over. Questions or concerns, conflicts, anything? Okay, hearing none, then I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the non-personnel consent agendas items.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I believe that brings us to the president's report, and I have none at this point, and I'd like to move on to the superintendent's highlights. Mr. Green, Dr. Green?
Sure, just a couple. We're having a great summer here on campus. We continue to have hundreds and hundreds of students attending our summer enrichment programs. This program continues to grow. Our staff are really doing an incredible job. It's just great to see kids all year round on campus and continuing to learn and have fun. And we're just excited to see the growth of that program over the last 5 or 6 years has just been incredible. So it's always great to have them, and we're looking forward to continue out strong here the next couple of weeks and give them a little bit of a break and our staff a little bit of a break, and then we'll be right back here in September ready to go for the new school year. Just want to update the board quickly. Communication did go out to the community as well. We have made the commitment to take care of some of the basic necessary supplies for students that every year that burden is kind of put on parents. So we've worked that out and budgeted for that to make sure that we can handle those basic supplies and alleviate a little of the pressure on families to have to do that. However, we know that some families like to go do that process and shop for particular things for the school year. And we recognize that. So that's completely fine as well if there's additional things that they would like. But we've worked with our staff on coming up with a list of items that they typically ask for their from parents and their students. So we're able to take care of that, and we're really pleased to be able to move forward with that. That's really all I have. We're continuing to be very busy, as you well know. The school year will be here before we know it. We're still in the midst of hiring for particular positions and preparing for next school year. So never a dull moment, and always very, very busy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey.
Okay, then we'll move on to district business. And again, I asked for clarification here. Should I take these individually or one group of information under section 7? Just double checking here because they are specific.
This
So
one usually goes one by one, Linda.
one, that's what okay, thank you. So under 7-1, we have information related to the pandemic plan, the district-wide safety plan for 2022-23. And I know that the board has had a chance to review these plans as well as review what was done in the past. So at this point in time, unless there are some questions here, I want to give the board a chance if they'd like to ask any questions of the superintendent, assistant superintendent, and any other members that are represented by the district. Any questions right now for anybody? No questions from the board then? Then I would like to have a motion to approve the safety plan that's in place here. Ask for a motion.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Stacy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Our second 7-2 is the tax warrant, library warrant to be approved by the school board. So I ask for a motion for this as well.
So moved.
Thank you, Kathy.
Second.
Thanks, Stacy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Jason. Moving on to 7-3, we have approved school lunch prices for the coming school year, 2022-23. Any questions about that?
So basically, Corey, are they keeping the fund for the elementary and middle school, but now we have to charge the high school kids is what it's looking like?
No, actually what's happening is, so the past couple of years with the pandemic, the federal government approved free breakfast and lunch for all students.
Yes.
And that's actually has come to an end. So we are back to our original application process for free and reduced lunch. So those that qualify or think they might qualify are encouraged to fill out that paperwork, and that information will be coming home to families, and it's also located on our website as well. Unfortunately, the government chose not to continue the free breakfast and lunch, which is a little bit frustrating and concerning, considering the needs that we have across the entire country and in our community. So, but we're back to our original process where we'll work individually with families and help them through that and get them any support that we can where needed.
Do you know how much it costs the government in a whole to provide that?
I couldn't tell you a large number, but I could guess that probably it's much less than a $1,500 electric vehicle.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
So
Okay.
it's a little frustrating that
Sure.
we're at that point. I don't know if there'll be a last minute change. I doubt it at this point, because there's been several school districts across the country that have already started. Many schools start in August in different parts of the country.
Right.
So it's just a frustrating agenda item that we're moving away from that.
Yeah. Great question, though. Thank you for asking. So I need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Thank you, Stace.
I'm sorry. One more question. I apologize.
Okay.
Really, this is not a district thing. This is a government thing, but it really kind of
Yes.
bothers me. How much, like from the looks of it, unless I read it wrong, like we're trying not to charge the elementary kids, it looks like, and middle school kids.
It'll
'Cause it
come
looks
back to, yeah, it
Zero,
comes
zero.
back to-
High
it comes
school
back to
kids.
eligibility, Kath, and one of the things that happens with eligibility, what we see historically with our free and reduced students who are eligible for that is many times that paperwork is typically completed at a much higher percentage level in the high school than it is, much higher percentage at the elementary school in middle school versus the high school. What happens is the numbers start to dwindle in the high school, really based on the stigma of some students even wanting to look to participate in the free and reduced program, which is, it's all confidential, but as you know, it's just one of those things that some get uncomfortable with. So the numbers come down when we get to the high school level when it comes to that.
Thank you, Marcy. 'cause I
Breakfast is
remember-
our continued program. Yeah, breakfast is the continued program that we've had for quite a few years now that we're able to have free breakfast for our students. Lunch is a different scenario this year.
Okay, sorry.
That make
Thank you.
sense?
I appreciate it. Yeah, it does make sense. I was thinking of something in my head, but obviously I was wrong because I remember the numbers incorrectly. So thank you.
I think
putting
for probably 3 or 4 years now, we've been in the free breakfast program for all of our elementary and middle school students. And that will continue. So really the change for them this year really becomes lunch, and then lunch for the high school level as well.
Okay, so I'll go back again. So I had a motion on the floor by Stacy to accept this. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
That's so approved. Moving on to 7-4. This is in regards to the audit committee, accept the Medicaid audit report that we've seen. Are there any questions for what you've had a chance to review from the board? The superintendent, any other questions?
No.
No. Hearing none, then I need a motion to accept the Medicaid audit for 2021, 22.
So moved.
Thank you, Jason.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
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 And motion's carried. Thank you. Moving on to 7-5, we have policy updates. And I think we have a whole list of these, and this is our first read. Is that correct, Corey?
Yes, this is a first read. Yeah, we're working our way. We're finally getting ourselves to the point where we're at the tail end of these updated policies. So this is the first read on towards the last batch that we have.
Okay. Okay. So at the next board meeting or in September, will we have the approval of those policies then, most likely?
Yep, the goal would be at the next board meeting at the end of August.
Okay, all right. So, all right. Thank you for that. Questions about these policy updates at this point? If not, certainly we can email you, Corey, if we have any questions about them, but this is our first read. Try to get through most of these as best we can.
Yeah,
Okay.
any questions, feel free to reach out.
Mhm.
We've got some time here in between to
Mhm.
read through and
Okay,
ask questions.
all right. Well, it brings us to, I guess I need a motion now, unless there's other comments. Do we have anybody? We don't have usually a public comment section during
No.
the business meeting.
Yeah,
Okay,
none for the business meeting.
okay. All right, then I need a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
So moved.
Thank
Second.
you. Thank you. And you all enjoy the next couple of weeks.